Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is CJP UFC Bets, and welcome back to another great video. Make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and make sure to turn on those notifications for free picks, free bets, free full card breakdown and predictions each and every single week right here on this channel, CJP UFC Bets. We're going to break down UFC Fight Night Vegas 69, Jessica Andrade versus Erin Blanchfield. A last-minute replacement there because Tyler Santos has visa issues, man. What do you think about this card?
Yeah, this is a decently lackluster card on paper. I really hope it ends up delivering. But yeah, we got Jessica Andrade coming in on 1 week's notice. We'll see how that works out for her next week.
1 week notice. That's crazy. I don't know, man.
It's
This
tough,
is going to be a very, very interesting fight. And if I'm not mistaken, this should be a title eliminator, right?
I believe so. Yeah, that sounds about right to me. It should be.
Yeah, I would say so, man, because these two girls right here are in for a championship, whoever wins, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
But anyway, let's recap what happened last night on UFC 284, Islam Makhachev versus Alexander Volkanovski. What a crazy, crazy card, man. Crazy fights. A lot of unexpected victories, man.
And these judges...
I got robbed with Sadykhov, man. I'm still salty about that.
I'm going to be salty about that for a while. What are those judges looking at? 30-27. 30-27 for Elvis Brenner. Are you kidding me? That is going to be one of the worst scorecards I have ever seen. That it's insane. That guy, whoever gave 30-27, has to never judge again. Like, we got to start a petition for that because that's bad.
That was very bad in my eyes too, man. But we all know now the new judging criteria is damage. Just because they saw blood, that's what done it.
He had a fucking nosebleed. Like, come on. Come on. You can't put too much stock into that. Like, that's ridiculous.
Man, they got me really good with that, man.
They got me bad with that one.
They really got me. And also, I thought that Alonzo Menefield got robbed with that fence grab. It was only one little fence grab, and he didn't even get warm, bro. They just took a point off right away.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say anymore with all this. Like, I mean, I had oh man, I'm forgetting his name right now. I had Crute in that, but I think Menefield won. Honestly, Crute showed me that I can never bet on him. Yeah, I didn't bet on him in this fight, but Crute just proved to me I can never bet on him in the future, ever.
I totally agree, man. I did have Alonzo Menefield as my dog of the card, so at least I get my money back with that draw.
Yeah.
But my lock of the card, bro, I told you Jack Jenkins was gonna do it. Don Shainis proved to be tough, man.
Yeah.
He's no joke either. I think he's a little UFC caliber now. I still want to see him in a couple more fights before I make that decision. But Jack Jenkins looked really good. His leg kicks are brutal, bro.
He's got some nice boxing and he's got some sneaky wrestling. I like the kid. I really like him. And we also found out we got a fraud alert. We got Tyson Pedro. Like, what is going on, man? Like, we found out he's a fucking fraud. He's got 3 minutes of gas and he didn't throw anything. He threw nothing. That's insane.
Bukowskis
was like the dog of the card there. Easy win for him.
Bro, I freaking hate myself for putting Pedro in my parlays.
Me too, bro.
Him and Sadykhov fucked me up, bro.
Yeah.
I don't care, bro.
It was tough.
So bad.
So, what'd you think about the main event?
The main event was a freaking war, bro. I loved it, man. Probably one of the fight of the year so far. I do see if a rematch happens down the road, I'm going for Volk, bro. Volkanovski is a beast. I don't see anyone defeating him in the featherweight division. And if Yair Rodriguez goes against him in a few months now, I have to go with Volk, bro. Volk is just the top-notch fighter in UFC.
Yeah, if they give me anything like plus 200 or better, I'm going Volk all day. Honestly, in that fight, there's a strong argument Volk won. There is a strong argument. The swing round was round number one, and I think Volk won that, to be completely honest. I know Islam got that takedown, but what did he do with it? He did nothing with it. So,
Right, right.
ugh,
And if they're gonna base the fight off damage,
Volk won.
Islam had more damage on his face than Volk did. Volk looked fresh after 5 rounds. Islam was gassing in the fourth and fifth round, bro.
Yep, yeah, it's obviously it's not a robbery because it was a close fight,
No. It's not a robbery.
but
It was definitely close.
but man, I don't know. I don't know. I kind of think Volk won that one.
Well, I'm guessing it's because takedowns. I know that he didn't do nothing with those, but he did get 4 of them in the fight.
Yeah, nothing we can do about it. We can only move on.
That control time did have a factor, so I can see why Islam won that fight. But if there's a rematch, I'm going to have to go with Volkanovski, and I hope that rematch happens down the road.
I do too.
I went 8-4-1 on my picks for UFC 284, and my overall record for Tapology is 184 wins, 93 losses, and 5 draws, 66% correct. So that's still pretty damn good.
Yes, it is. Yeah, no doubt about that. I didn't have the best night picking wise. I went 6-6-1. It's a 50-50 record there. It's all right. We'll move past it. Did better last week. We'll do better next week. Let's get off with it. Let's do it.
All right, bro. Let's get into it. UFC Fight Night Vegas 69. Jessica Andrade versus Erin Blanchfield. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be an early card. Thank God, because I hate staying up for those late cards. 4 p.m. start time for the prelims, 7 p.m. start time Eastern time in the USA if you're in another country. And then I don't know what time it starts for you, but it starts early for us, so thank God. All right, let's get into it, folks. The first fight of the night. If my computer cooperates.
Technical difficulties here.
There you go.
There we go.
They didn't change the poster yet, but UFC Fight Night 69, Andrade versus Blanchfield. Should be a good one here. Should be a close fight. The first fight of the night is scheduled in the men's featherweight division. We have Jamall Emmers versus Khusein Askhabov. Jamall Emmers, he's 18-6, 33 years old, 5'10", with a 74-inch reach. Then we have Khusein Askhabov. He's undefeated at 23-0, 28 years old, 5'8", and his reach is unavailable. For Jamall Emmers, this guy is cutting down a weight class, so this is new territory for him here, and he's also lost the 2 out of his last 3 fights. But with that being said, he has decent striking with good jabs. He has decent wrestling with a pretty solid ground game. He throws nice kicks to the body and likes to jump in and out of range. He also has pretty decent submissions with good cardio to go with it. For Askhabov, he's got pretty good striking with good wrestling and solid takedowns. He throws good combinations and has good, strong leg kicks. He does have a decent ground game with pretty solid top control. He also has good cardio with solid submissions, but he's been out of action for almost 3 years and is making his UFC debut here. So that does worry me a little bit here. Ultimately, though, I'm going with Khusein Askhabov by decision or possibly even a knockout. Who are you going for, bro?
Yeah, I know you just said Jamall Emmers is moving down in weight, but it's actually Askhabov moving up in weight. He's moving from the bantamweight to the featherweight division for this fight here.
I'm sorry, I got confused there.
Yeah, no problem at all. Yeah, so as you said, this is his first fight in 3 years. He's moving up a weight class. He's got solid leg kicks and a 1-2, but in general, he just doesn't offer much on the feet. He wants to get his wrestling going, and when he gets you down, he does have solid top control against lower level guys, But when he gets steps up in competition, his ground game just doesn't look as good. In his fight against Adilson Texera and Donovan Desme, the ref was having no part of the wrestling, whether it was along the fence or on the ground. He gave Askhabov literally no time to work. He just kept standing them up. It was insane to me. I hate seeing that. Jamall Emmers, he shows a 100% takedown defense, but he's only faced a total of 4 takedown attempts. So his takedown defense is largely untested, and he will be facing some takedown attempts here. Jamall Emmers gets his takedowns at a 53% clip, which is pretty good. And I know Askhabov is 23-0, but this is a step down in competition for Emmers, going for fighting guys like Giga Chikadze and Pat Sabatini. Emmers has pretty solid kicks, a pretty good jab, and a nice, hard, straight right hand. He also has good entries into his takedowns. He did get swept by Giga Chikadze in round 2 of their fight, which just isn't a good look, seeing as Giga's a kickboxer. But he does have solid clinch knees as well. And honestly, in this fight, I'm going to say the undefeated fighter will be taking his first loss. I'm going with Jamall Emmers.
Already chasing the dog, bro. I knew it. I knew
it. Let's get into it.
All right, so you're going with Emmers, and I'm going with Askhabov in this fight. All right, let's move on up to the next fight on the card, scheduled in the prelims. In the men's welterweight division, we have A.J. Fletcher versus Themba Gorimbo. A.J. Fletcher, he's 9-2, 26 years old, 5'10", with a 67-inch reach. Then we have Themba Gorimbo, he's 10-3, 32 years old, 6'0", with a 76.4-inch reach, and that should come into play in this fight. For A.J. Fletcher, he has solid striking with decent 1s and 2s. He's got pretty good leg kicks and very good wrestling. He has good takedowns and is pretty explosive. He has a good amount of KO power with decent grappling. Not to mention, he changes levels very well for takedowns with pretty good top control. For Gorimbo, here's another guy making his UFC debut here. He's a pretty long and rangy guy who has pretty good ground and pound from top position with solid top control. He throws nice straight shots down the middle, but he can get wild at times and uses his reach to his advantage. He has pretty decent takedowns and can grind you out to decision with decent cardio. This should be a close fight. I was going back and forth, but I'm gonna have to go with A.J. Fletcher. He's the more proven guy here, so give me him. No bets, though. Who are you going for, bro?
Yeah, I agree. Themba, he's going to have a 9-inch reach advantage in this fight, and he does have a good jab that he can just throw out there all night. I don't like that he darts in and throws these slow 1-2s over and over while leaving his chin up in the air. He needs to be a lot more disciplined in the UFC if he wants to make it anywhere. He goes for takedowns, but he gets these takedowns against lower-level regional scene guys, but when he faces someone with decent takedown defense, he suddenly doesn't look so good. A.J. Fletcher, he's decent on the feet, throws in combinations, and hits pretty hard. If he can get inside on Themba, then he'll have the striking advantage. I also think the leg kick for Fletcher will be there all night when they're on the feet. Fletcher also has good wrestling, and when he gets on top, he throws some good ground and pound. He just doesn't have the best cardio, especially in wrestling heavy fights. And if he gets taken down, especially in the second and third round, he can be held down. This is a decently close fight. There's no way I am betting it, but I'm going with A.J. Fletcher to get the win.
Absolutely. Stay away from this fight. Far, far away.
As far as you can.
Same thing for this next fight. I'm staying far away from this fight as well. Featured in the men's light heavyweight division, we have Ovince St. Preux versus Felipe Lins. Ovince Preux, he's 26 and 16, 39 years old, 6'3", with a 80-inch reach. Then we have Felipe Lins. He's 15 and 5, 37 years old, 6'2", with a 78-inch reach. For OSP, he's a UFC veteran with a ton of experience. He has decent striking with solid KO power in his hands, but he is very low volume and very gun shy, to be honest. He doesn't pull the trigger at the right time, which I don't like about him, but he does have decent ones and twos, good submissions, especially the Von Flu choke. That's his thing, so definitely watch out for that. He's also very patient and doesn't really engage. Um, for Felipe Lins, he has decent striking with a very solid amount of KO power. He's got pretty decent volume on the feet and throws nice combinations with good submissions. He does have a BJJ black belt with good jiu-jitsu. Not to mention, he has pretty good grappling and a decent gas tank. So give me Felipe Lins by decision or possibly even a knockout. I do see him getting a knockout here. But like I said, I'm staying far away from this fight. Who are you going for, bro?
Yeah, Felipe Lins, he has decent striking and he works the body pretty well. He goes for takedowns, but he isn't the best wrestler. He gets his takedowns at a 36% clip. He also has good cardio. He can push a wrestling heavy and clinch heavy game plan for the full 15 minutes. OSP, he's slow, he's low volume. He has a pretty nice body kick. He also has decent takedown defense at 66%. This is going to be a low volume, slow paced fight against two untrustworthy fighters. Guys, don't bet this fight. There's so many other fights on this card that you can bet. Just let this one pass by. I'm going Felipe Lins. Absolutely no bet though.
No bet, absolutely not. I have to learn from my mistakes from the last couple cards, bro. I'm staying far away.
Yep. Smartest thing to do.
Let's move on up to the next fight on the card. Scheduled in the women's bantamweight division, we have Lina Lansberg versus Mayra Bueno Silva. Lina Lansberg, she's 10 and 7, 40 years old, 5'7", with a 65.5-inch reach. Then we have Mayra Bueno Silva. She's 9 and 2, 31 years old, 5'6", with a 66.5-inch reach. For Lina Lansberg, she's lost her last 3 fights, and she's on a she's on a 3-fight losing skid, and she's almost 41 years old. 41 years old. Probably the oldest fighter on this card. With that being said, she's got okay striking and a decent right hand, pretty good Muay Thai skills, and pretty bad on the ground. However, she's pretty tough and she's got decent cardio. For Mayra Bueno Silva, she's got pretty solid ground game with pretty good submissions, decent grappling, good jiu-jitsu, and decent striking. She's got decent takedowns as well and definitely has good cardio to go all 3 rounds. Not to mention she is pretty tough and underrated in my opinion. So give me Mayra Bueno Silva inside the distance in this fight. I would say she's a safe parlay piece. Who are you going for, bro?
Yeah, Lina Lansberg is very low volume, and she's basically not a threat on the feet at all. She shoots these sloppy telegraph takedowns, and her takedown accuracy is only 27%. And Mayra Bueno Silva has good takedown defense at 67%. She's also 9 years younger, throws more volume, and hits harder. And even if Lina gets a takedown here, she's in danger of getting armbarred, seeing as Silva has 4 out of her 9 wins are by armbar. I think this one's pretty straightforward. I think Bueno Silva gets it done. I don't love the line, to be honest. I'll probably stay away, but Silva should cruise here.
I don't know, man. I might stay away too, but tempting to put her in a parlay, but her line is out of control. I agree.
Yeah, minus 400's a bit much for me.
Hopefully my book has a better line when I go tonight. Let's move on up to the next fight on the card. Scheduled in the men's flyweight division, we have Juancamilo Ronderos versus Clayton Carpenter. Juancamilo Ronderos. He's 4-1, 28 years old, 5'4", with a 64.5-inch reach. Then we have Clayton Carpenter, undefeated at 6-0, 26 years old, 5'6", with a 66-inch reach. I'm looking forward to this fight. For Ronderos, he's got good striking with pretty fast hands and decent footwork. He's got okay wrestling with decent scrambles and a respectable get-up game. He does struggle in the grappling department, though, and he can get taken down pretty easily. He also has a decent chin with good cardio. For Clayton Carpenter, here's another UFC debut here, but he is undefeated, so that is saying something. He's been doing MMA pretty much his whole life. He has pretty good striking, solid head movement, and he is fast on the feet. He throws good kicks up the middle with fast combinations, and he is a pretty good counter striker as well. Not to mention, he has got nice submissions, decent takedowns, and he switches stances really well with a good gas tank. So give me Clayton Carpenter by decision or maybe a submission. I do see a submission here. Who are you going for, Jason?
Yeah, we got Juancamilo Honduras. This is his first fight in 2 years. Sorry if I just butchered that. This is his first fight in 2 years, but he is only 27 years old, so he could come out looking like a whole new fighter when we see him on Saturday. But judging him on his previous fights, he just doesn't look very good. He doesn't offer much on the feet. He wants to fight on the ground, but he doesn't have the best wrestling, and he has no takedown defense. He got dominated on the ground by Matt Elliott, and he pulled off a sub mid-second round. Carpenter isn't bad on the feet, especially compared to Juancamilo. So he'll have the striking advantage, and I think he'll have the wrestling advantage here. I think that's pretty clear. He could just wet blanket Honduras if he wants to. My pick here is Carpenter. I think he kills him. I don't even think it's going to be close.
I agree, and I definitely am going to throw him in one of my parlays. Yeah. Let's move on up to the next fight on the card, which is scheduled to be the featured prelim for UFC Fight Night Vegas 69. But before we do the breakdown, make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, smash that like button, and tell everyone you know about CJP UFC Bets. The next fight is scheduled in the men's lightweight division. We have Nazim Sadykhov versus Evan Elder. Nazim Sadykhov, he's 7-1, 28 years old, 5'10", with a 69-inch reach. Then we have Evan Elder. He's also 7-1, 25 years old, 5'10", with a 71-inch reach. For Sadykhov, he has really good combat sambo style with pretty solid striking and a good amount of KO power in his hands. He's got good elbows, good knees, nice uppercuts, and mixes his strikes up pretty well in his fights. He has good top control, good ground and pound, and not to mention very solid leg kicks and a good counter striker with good cardio. For Elder, he has decent striking with a solid straight right. He has okay wrestling with okay takedowns. He has some nice head kicks and leg kicks. He has sneaky KO power with an okay ground game. Not to mention, he has decent cardio and can definitely push the pace for all 3 rounds. But I don't think that's going to be enough here. Give me Nazim Sadykhov by knockout. Who are you going for, bro?
Same page here. Nazim Askhabov he has a ton of power, especially in his left hand, and Elder just doesn't seem to have the best striking defense, so I can see Nazim getting a quick knockout here. Elder isn't bad on the feet, but he's kind of slow, and to be honest, I'm going to keep this one short. I think Nazim gets it done in round 1 by knockout.
Round 1, let's go.
Round 1 knockout.
Hopefully you get a freaking good line on that one, bro.
I hope so.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we made it up to the main card pretty fast here. So make sure to subscribe. Make sure to like us, share us, check us out on Instagram, check us out on TikTok, check us out on Twitter. The same everywhere. CJP UFC Bets. I know you have a Twitter, right, bro? You post your pics on Twitter?
Yeah, I do. You can just look me up at it's just my name, Jason LaCroix 95. I'll just comment it down below in the comment section.
Well, there you go, folks. Go check out my dude, Jason LaCroix 95 on Twitter. The next fight is scheduled in the men's lightweight division. We have Jim Miller versus Alexander Hernandez. Jim Miller, he's 35 and 16, 39 years old, 5'8", with a 71-inch reach. Then we have Alexander Hernandez, 13 and 6, 30 years old, 5'9", with a 72-inch reach. This should be a very interesting fight. For Jim Miller, he's one of the most experienced fighters in this division, and he's literally fought the best of them. He's got pretty good boxing with solid grappling. He's got okay takedowns with decent wrestling. He does have sneaky KO power with good elbows. Not to mention the dude is very tough, and he's got that junkyard dog in him, and he will definitely fight for your money. For Hernandez, he's pretty fast, athletic, powerful guy, but he's pretty inconsistent in his fights. He's got pretty good wrestling with solid KO power. He does have good takedowns and not afraid to get into a slugfest. He also has decent takedown defense and a pretty explosive guy, but he does get tired throughout the fight with questionable cardio. Give me the dog here, bro. Give me Jim Miller to win by knockout. I do see that happening here. I'm following the trend. Let's go.
Yeah, we are on the same page again here. We all know who Alexander Hernandez is. He's round one or bust. He gasses after about 4 to 5 minutes in every single fight, and he's coming in on short notice here, so that's just going to add to it. If you can survive the first round, then chances are you're going to finish Hernandez. But surviving that first round isn't the easiest thing to do most of the time. He has big explosive punches, and if he lands clean on Miller, he could potentially put him out. But Miller, he's pretty good on the feet, and if Jim pushes a wrestling game plan in the first round, I think he just gasses Hernandez out pretty fast, and I think he finds the finish in either the second or third round. I know you said KO. I kind of think Jim might pull off some sneaky sub here. But either way, Jim Miller inside the distance, I think, is the play.
There you go, folks. We're both on the dog here. Jim Miller, don't be afraid of his age here. He's been proven to bust some parlays, so I wouldn't put Alexander Hernandez in your parlays at all.
Definitely not.
Let's move on up to the next fight on the card. Scheduled in the men's heavyweight division, we have Josh Parisian versus Jamall Pogues. Jamal Pogues, he's 9 and 3, 27 years old, 6'3", with a 77-inch reach. Josh Parisian, he's 15 and 5, 33 years old, 6'4", with a 79-inch reach. For Jamal Pogues, he's making his UFC debut, and he has pretty solid jabs with decent striking. He's got pretty good ones and twos with fast hands, but he can slow down as the fight goes on, and he's got questionable cardio. But he is pretty tough and doesn't give up in his fights, always looking for the finish. For Parisian, he's got pretty decent striking and likes to come forward at his opponents with a solid amount of volume on the feet. He has decent KO power with sneaky takedowns. Not to mention, he does like to stand in the pocket at times and likes to stand and bang and create an ugly firefight with okay cardio. I'm going with Jamal Pogues to win by decision or maybe even a knockout here. Who are you going for, bro?
Yeah, Jamal Pogues, he wants to get his wrestling going, and he has pretty good entries into his takedowns, and he has good top control. Josh Parisian will have the advantage on the feet, but let's not forget that Josh Parisian made Don'Tale Mayes look like a D1 wrestler. He showed no takedown defense, and Don'Tale Mayes got him down with little to no effort and held him down. So I imagine Jamal Pogues will have a heavy wrestling advantage and should have a heavy wrestling game plan going into this fight. I know it's his UFC debut, but to me, this fight seems straightforward. I'm going with Jamal Pogues by decision.
There you go, folks. We're going with Jamal Pogues in this fight. Let's move on up to the next fight on the card. Scheduled in the men's light heavyweight division, we have William Knight versus Marcin Prachnio. William Knight, he's 11-4, 34 years old, 5'10", with a 73-inch reach. Then we have Marcin Prachnio, 15-6, 34 years old, 6'3", with a 74-inch reach. For William Knight, he's got decent striking with a huge amount of KO power in his hands. He's got fast hands, and he can be explosive and likes to push the pace in his fights. He's got decent wrestling with solid takedowns and okay cardio. He does have questionable cardio and a questionable chin as well. He can be chinny. For Prachnio, he has a technical brawler style, and he likes to get into the pocket and create a slugfest. He's got a good amount of KO power, and he can have a nice karate style as well. He's um he also has nice head kicks, good leg kicks, and decent amount of volume on the feet. And I do see him winning the fight by decision. Who are you going for, bro?
Marcin Prachnio has good movement on the feet, solid kicks, and he's willing to brawl at times. He has decent power in his punches. His takedown defense looked pretty good in his last fight against Felipe Lins, but again, Lins isn't much of a wrestler. But he does gas out later in the fight. And William Knight, he's low volume, but he does hit very hard when he does throw. I wouldn't doubt if Knight gets a takedown or two on Prachnio just because of how strong he is, but I feel like Prachnio will be able to get back up and hopefully gas Knight out more than Prachnio gasses. Knight also has one of the worst striking defense in the UFC, sitting at 32%, which is just awful. To be honest, I don't care about this fight at all. When I saw it on the card, I was a little mad that I actually had to waste my time to tape this fight. Not gonna lie, like I'm not betting it. I don't even want to watch it. I'm going Marcin Prachnio for the win, though.
There you go, folks. We're going with Marcin Prachnio in this fight, but I would stay away, far, far away from this fight betting wise. And we made it to the co-main event of the evening for UFC Fight Night Vegas 69, Andrade versus Blanchfield. But make sure to stay tuned for our dog of the card and our lock of the card at the end of this video. Subscribe to this channel, like us, share us, and do what you have to do to spread the word about CJP UFC bets. The next fight is scheduled in the light heavyweight division. We have Zach Pauga versus Jordan Wright. Zach Pauga, he's 5'1", 34 years old, 6'2", with a 76-inch reach. Then we have Jordan Wright. He's 12-4, 31 years old, 6'2", with a 77-inch reach. I do not see this fight going the distance. For Zach Pauga, he's got decent striking with solid jabs. He's got decent ones and twos. He's pretty fast on the feet, and he's got solid footwork. He's got good combinations with good head movement. He also has decent volume on the feet and pretty decent KO power. Not to mention, he's coming down in weight class here, so we'll see how that goes for him in this fight. For Jordan Wright, he's coming off a 3-fight losing skid, so his job is probably on the line here. He's moving up a weight class, so we got two fighters entering a new weight class here. That should be interesting. Wright has a nice karate style, and he likes to come forward at his opponents with good pressure on the feet. He also has decent striking, sneaky KO power, but definitely chinny with cardio issues, so watch out for that. Give me Zach Pauga by knockout. Who you going for, bro?
Same page once again. Zach Pauga, he throws a good amount of volume. He has nice ones and twos. He does have decent power as well. He has decent wrestling, and when he gets the fight down to the ground, he has good top control along with good ground and pound. He didn't get to show off his wrestling in his last fight against who did he fight there? Mohammed Usman. But if you go back and watch his previous fights, he does have some pretty decent wrestling. Jordan Wright has good movement on the feet, good clinch knees. He shows a 100% takedown defense. He goes for his own takedowns, and to be honest, I don't know who's going to have the better wrestling in the first round, but I can tell you that Jordan Wright falls off a cliff after round one. Pauga he has the much better cardio in this fight, and the best bet for this fight is the under. There's no way this is going over. I'm probably not touching the money line. Zach Pauga by KO is the play. Just look for props on this fight.
Absolutely. Under 2.5 is the play here. I'm not touching any of their money lines, though. And ladies and gentlemen, we have made it. It is time for the main event of the evening for UFC Fight Night 69 in Vegas. Jessica Andrade versus Erin Blanchfield, scheduled in the women's flyweight division. And like I said earlier, this should be a title eliminator. Whoever wins this fight should be fighting for the title next. For Jessica Andrade, she's 24-9. 31 years old, 5'1", with a 62-inch reach. For Erin Blanchfield, she's 10-1, 23 years old, 5'4", with a 68-inch reach. For Jessica Andrade, she has pretty solid striking with a huge amount of KO power. She loves to create slugfests. She's got pretty good boxing and very solid grappling. She's got pretty decent jiu-jitsu with decent takedowns. Not to mention, she's got a good, decent takedown defense and a very tough opponent. She's got decent cardio and a solid chin. My only worry here is she's coming in on short notice. For Erin Blanchfield, she's got very good grappling with solid wrestling and pretty good takedowns. She has solid striking with decent combinations and good volume on the feet. She's got a good ground game with pretty solid top control as well. Not to mention, she's got pretty solid submissions, very good takedown accuracy, and a good takedown defense. Give me Erin Blanchfield inside the distance. Let's go. Who are you going for, Jason?
Yeah, so I'm not going to lie. I didn't do proper tape for this main event since it just got announced last night. But Andrade stepping in on 1 week's notice is very concerning to me. But this is a huge step up in competition for Erin Blanchfield. Going from fighting Molly McCann to Jessica Andrade is a massive step up. I think Blanchfield might struggle a bit in round one, but if she's consistent with her wrestling-heavy game plan, then I do think she can get Andrade down and hold her down. Eventually tire out Andrade and probably find the finish at some point. Now, look, I'm probably not gonna bet this fight, but go ahead, give me that dog. Give me Erin Blanchfield to pull off the biggest win of her career to date.
I definitely agree. I think she gets it done here. Just the short notice is a little worrisome, but we all know that Jessica Andrade has that KO power that can put anyone's lights out. So definitely stay away from the money line. The under is the play, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
So that was our breakdown, ladies and gentlemen, for UFC Fight Night Vegas 69. Should be an interesting card. A little bit lackluster, but I'm still going to watch it because I'm a huge UFC fan, and I'm definitely going to play some bets, mainly prop bets, though. And stay tuned for our lock of the card and our dog of the card coming up right now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is CJP UFC Bets. Make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, make sure to like this video, share this video, and tell everyone you know about CJP UFC Bets. Here to reveal our dog of the card for UFC Fight Night Vegas 69 Andrade versus Blanchfield. My dog of the card is Jim Miller. I think he gets it done. I'm going to follow the trend. I think he gets it done by knockout. Give me Jim Miller as my dog of the card. Who are you going for, bro?
Yeah, it looks like we are just on the same page for just about this whole card because my dog of the card is none other than Jim Miller as well. And he's, as of right now, plus 153. Give me that money line. Give me Jim Miller inside the distance all day long here.
I think I got a better line on that when I saw the lines when they first came out. I think it was like plus 170. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, man.
That high, huh?
Yes,
Wow.
let's go.
Wow.
Yes.
I wish I got that line. That's crazy.
So hopefully my book offers that line after the show. I'm definitely gonna go bet him. So our dog of the card, Jim Miller. And next up is our lock of the card coming up right now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is CJP UFC Bets. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, share this video, turn on those notifications, free bets, free picks, free predictions, full card predictions every single week. Our next show is happening on February 19th, Sunday, February 19th, for UFC Fight Night Vegas 70. Krylov versus Spann. That should be an interesting card. And here to reveal our lock of the card for UFC Fight Night Vegas 69, Blanchfield versus Andrade. My lock of the card, 90% that it hits. Give me Nazim Sadykhov as my lock of the card. Who's your lock, bro?
Yeah, for my lock, I am going with Jamal Pogues at minus 225. Like I said in the breakdown, Josh Parisian made Dontel Mays look like a D1 wrestler. I just think Jamal Pogues is he's gonna flatline him. It's gonna be an easy fight for him.
Well, there you go, folks. My lock of the card, Nazim Sadykhov, and for Jason, Jamal Pogues. Make sure to put them in your slips. Make sure to join us next Sunday, February 19th, for UFC Fight Night Vegas 670. Full card breakdown and predictions. Krylov versus Spann. We hope you enjoy the Super Bowl. Who you got in the Super Bowl, bro?
I'm going with the Dogs. I'm going with the Chiefs to get it done. And
I'm
just to
going
let
with
you
the
know,
Chiefs. Let's go.
Yeah, I do have a bet on that as well. And for anyone watching this before the Super Bowl starts, two good prop bets to me are Travis Kelce to get a touchdown, Jalen Hurts to get a touchdown. Just throwing that out there for you guys.
All right, bro. I'll make sure to put that in my slip today. I appreciate that play, bro, because I don't know nothing about football. I don't watch football. But give me the Chiefs. Give me the dog. I did bet him at plus 110. Let's go.
I did too. Let's go.
All right. Enjoy the Super Bowl, everyone. We hope you enjoy the breakdown, and we'll see you next Sunday. CJP UFC Bets. We're out of here.